So family, this story comes from Knoxville, Tennessee. The new Knoxville police chief, whose name is Paul Noel, has fired a lieutenant and suspended a captain for violating department rules. And the department rules that they violated is not covering up instances of racism among police officers. A black police officer came forward with allegations of racism and it was just shoved under the rug. And that's why that lieutenant has lost his job and a captain has been suspended. And it has been confirmed by the department that Lieutenant Lance Earlywine has been fired and that Captain Donald Jones has been suspended for 10 days. And when you see what this white officer said to this black officer, you're going to see why one officer got fired and one officer got suspended. It is quite amazing. And so back in 2020, a Knoxville police officer complained about racism in a hostile work environment in an exit interview. And so the officer who was accused of racism was Officer Adam Broom, who had an internal affairs probe opened up into his actions about, the racism. And so people started accusing the internal affairs squad of covering things up, just trying to make Adam Broom seem like he wasn't racist, even though he was. And guess who was on that team to make sure that he was looked into? Well, it was Earlywine and Jones, the one officer who is now fired and the other officer who is now suspended. And at that time, they were exonerated in their handling of that investigation. And that is until we found out some more information. And that information is that another officer who was not the officer who resigned, who complained about racism with Adam Broom, and this officer's name is DeAndre Jackson, also said that Broom made some racist remarks towards him and also created a toxic work environment. And had that been included in the internal affairs probe, Broom would have been lost his job and he would not have had to have resigned. And it also begs the question, why was this covered up? Because Broom allegedly went to Jackson and said, "Hey Jackson, you should know something about being on a slave ship, shouldn't you?" That is a wild comment to make. And on top of that, the two officers who are in hot water, one who lost his job, the other one who was actually suspended, they covered this up. They pretended like this never happened. Wow.